Good afternoon. I'm Tim Carter, and it's Wednesday afternoon, May 11th, 2022, and beautiful spring day here in central New Hampshire. I was outside a lot, making great progress on decluttering the garage. I would say by Friday afternoon, the whole lower garage is going to be in pretty good shape. Took the motorcycle out, exercised it today. It had been the first time it was exercised since last fall. And just what a wonderful motorcycle. It's a Honda Shadow 600cc. If you don't know anything about motorcycles, it looks just like a Harley Sportster, sounds like one. It's got that V engine, and it's my daughter's bike. It's not mine, but she wants me to ride it, so I do. And if you have any questions at all today, put them in the chat. Happy to help you. Hello, Lorene. We're going to be talking about these bad boys in just a few minutes. I want to tell you all about Keen shoes. I've been a Keen wearer for, let's see, 17, 16, at least 6 years, maybe 7. Could be 7, no more than 7. I did their factory tour in 2017 in Portland, Oregon. It was a blistering hot day. They had a really freak kind of hot spell, 105 degrees for 2 days in a row. It was horrible. And got to see how shoes were made. Kind of interesting. That video is on my channel. If you want to go open up another tab and watch that video, pretty interesting. And I got to help make the shoes. They let all of us kind of do 1 or 2 steps, and very interesting. Very interesting process. Hi, Steve. Minnesota. I've been to Minnesota just a couple of times. I went there on an editor's tour for Honeywell. And I remember we had some kind of party, I think the first night or the second night, on a boat out on one of your beautiful lakes. You've got a lot of lakes, you have probably more lakes in New Hampshire, but you've got some beautiful lakes. Hello, Vanessa. Glad you're here. If you have any questions all about your house, you know what to do. You're regulars. You're out here, and just ask anything you want. Doesn't matter. Happy to help you no matter what it is. We don't have to talk about shoes, but we'll talk about shoes right now. So these are some nice new. These are going to be perfect for summertime. These are some Keen. They're called the Sparta2. And very lightweight, extremely lightweight. It's quite unlike the shoe that I have on now. I have a shoe on now that's almost like this, but it seems like it's at least a half a pound heavier. And beautiful sole on these, very, really, really great for some day hiking. The only problem is I'm a guy that needs a higher, like a mid-height shoe for hiking. I need that ankle support. But I already know I have a pair of these kind of in a different color, different style, and I've been wearing them since 2017, and they look brand new. And one of the things about Keen shoes, I'll tell you about my Keen boots in a minute. They have, I forget, I'm going to say asymmetrical. So I think they were one of the first companies to do. The reason they're so comfortable is because they actually have a left and a right shape for the toe, just like your feet are, meaning your big toe is longer, here, but most shoes are, they're just the same shape here. So as the curve comes around, your big toe gets jammed. Well, that's not the way it is in Keens. So Keens are bigger here where it's supposed to be bigger, where your big toe is, and it's the same thing on the other shoe. So very, very, very interesting concept. I don't know that they were the first to do it. But I can tell you it makes a huge difference for me, at least. I had a pair. I still have them. I use them for my roughest work. I have a pair of Keen. They were beautiful boots. These are blue. I had these red ones, red and gray, and I used them to help build my daughter's home. and I had 2 pair of Keens I switched back and forth, especially early in the job where it was just we just got soaking wet every day. So I had to have 2 pair of boots so that 1 pair could dry out the second day. So every other day I was wearing the same pair of boots. And this red pair, I don't wanna say I wore it out, but they were heavily broken in. They were so abused on this job. I mean, like crazy abused. And they look it. They're still wearable. They're still waterproof, but they look worse for wear. I should have probably brought them up for the live stream to show you. That would have been interesting to see those. I'll bring them up another day. And they just all I can tell you is I've had a really great experience with this line of boots. I can't say this for any other um, shoe that I've worn my entire life. That's what's so amazing. That's why I wanted to share this with you because um, I've had good luck with some shoes. Some the crappy ones fall apart. These have never fallen apart. I've not had one pair. Let's see, how many have I had? One, two, three, four, five. I think this is my sixth pair, and never one has fallen apart. So, and like I said, the ones that I used helping build my daughter's home, if anything should have fallen apart, it should have been those. Now, if you go out and wear a pair of these hiking the Arizona Trail, especially the southern section where it's very rugged, uh, very sharp, angular rocks on the trail, you might wear a pair out after hiking 100 miles or so. But you're putting those kind of boots under extreme wear conditions. I don't think it's fair to judge a boot in that kind of situation unless you get a bunch of them, and wear a bunch of them. But for overall comfort, overall wearability, durability, I haven't been able to beat Keen. I can tell you that. Let's see. Let me get caught up. Hello, Vanessa. Let's see. Getting ready to mix concrete this weekend. Okay, to finish floor patio. Okay, good. It's kind of a. It would seem like it's a really good weekend to do concrete work. In my opinion, it would have been better to do it 2 weeks ago. The best conditions to pour concrete outside. Uh, 55 degrees, overcast, calm, no threat of rain. Maybe the temperature drops to 45 at night. So 55 to 60 degrees, overcast is the primo weather for concrete. When you get into 80, 85, sunny, breezy, it's the worst time, absolute worst time. The water leaves the concrete too quickly, it evaporates. It can get away from you. There's all kinds of bad things that can happen. And then if you start to sprinkle water on the concrete, then it's over. You're not supposed to ever put water on concrete while you finish it. All right. Yep. Ankle support. Elaine, Keen. Oh, hey, Elaine. How you doing? There you go. I've not tried Ariat. Interesting. Yeah, they do. I mean, what I like about these, they're very light. They're very lightweight. And this is this fabric here on the side. Yeah, you can see the holes. It's kind of a breathable fabric. Same thing on the top there. I think that they're going to be very comfortable in warm weather. So very, very interesting. And they're blue, my favorite color, so it's got blue on the side, and there's their logo. If I could hold it up right, so it's really a good shoe. Good shoe. We'll see how it does. I already know it's going to be great. Just so. All right. When it gets hot enough, though, I'm a sandal guy. I like my feet to be as open as possible. Vanessa, we got well pump in and working. Oh, wonderful. Good for you. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right, here's some new news. So here's some news. I've been working on this for months and months and months. And Steve from London was the one who brought it to my attention. For maybe the past year, YouTube has been testing with certain channels a feature where you hear me on here say, well, if I helped you buy me an ice cream cone, blah blah blah. That feature is now a part of every one of my videos. If you go to look up any of my videos on YouTube, you'll see now at the bottom there are all these, like, I don't know, options, text links, and one of them says thanks with a heart next to it. Well, if you click that, you have the ability to give me a tip, if I've saved you time and money. And my I'm going to make a video about this probably this weekend to let my subscribers know that if they start doing that, if they do it, the revenue that I'm going to get from that, I'm just going to plow it right back into the YouTube channel. The first thing I'm going to do is this may sound crazy to you. the I record here's let me show it to you. You're not going to believe this, all right? I know you're not going to believe this. I've recorded probably for the past 8, 9 years, every single video on my YouTube channel, not the live streams, has been recorded with this. I'm not kidding. This Canon S95. All right. It's this thing. It was such an amazing camera. Still works great. It's high definition, 720. And for here's why it's so good when in retrospect. Most people now are watching their videos on their phones. So this delivers more than enough quality for people who are watching on their phones. And I think everybody can agree that's the trend moving out into the future. But I want to buy a 4K HD camera that has the ability to take my wireless Sennheiser microphone, and also it has a flip screen so that if I'm recording by myself, I can rotate the screen around and make sure that I'm framed properly. Here, when I use this thing and I don't have any help, I've got to take a couple of takes to get it all right. It's crazy. So I'm gonna buy a new camera. Um, so so anyway, if you see that thanks thing, try it out, see what you think of it. At least click it, see what happens, and I think you'll be amazed. All right, William, how is the best way to apply stain or water sealant to a wood porch? Well, it depends on the type of wood. It depends on there's probably 4 different factors. Um, I would be tempted to use a roller, but the trouble with rollers is that they'll leave lap marks, and sometimes they'll leave bubbles, so you have to backbrush. Um, if you're going to do that, you really should have a helper, and somebody should be applying. The person with a roller can go much faster usually than the person with a brush, and you just have to work as a team, so the person with a roller doesn't get ahead of you. And here's the key thing about working with stain and wood. It's just like I talked about with the concrete. Do not, the worst time to apply stain on a wood surface would be the middle of the day. I mean, like at high noon, like today, like a day like I had here in Sinton, New Hampshire. There's not a cloud in the sky. The sun is brilliant as can be. It's cooking you, it's cooking the wood. Horrible. That's the worst time. Same thing. You want to do it on an overcast day, or you want to do it, preferably, you would want to do it as early as possible in the morning while it's cool and before the sun has gotten on the deck. And you won't have any trouble getting the stain. The stain won't get away from you. All right. And then as the sun comes up on it, it's okay. But to apply the stain on hot wood at noon, no, like between 11 and 2 in the afternoon, it's crazy. It's crazy. Do not do that. Treated lumber, okay, not a problem. I mean, it's going to be fine. Hopefully, you've cleaned it. You got to clean it really well if you want to get the best results. Stain solver, I sell really great stain cleaner. Do a great job of cleaning treated wood, make it look brand new. It won't bleach the wood. What else did I want to tell you? The key thing is, William, make sure you hi Jack, make sure you take the time. It only takes 3 or 4 minutes, and read the instructions on the label of the stain can. All right. And one of the things I would do, even though, make sure if you're using more than a gallon, make sure that the batches are the same. That you have. It may say the same color, but it might not be the same batch. I always would mix them. I'd have an empty clean 5-gallon bucket, I'd pour both gallons into the 5-gallon bucket, stir it up so that I have the same color. So I can't state how important that is. I've seen quite a few photos of people who have got a two-tone deck. All right, it's like William. It's so simple you can't believe it. But read the instructions on the label. Some sealants, for example, some sealants want you to put on 2 coats, but they should be thin, and they have to be some, not all, some, they have to be applied within so many minutes of each other. Meaning if you apply the first coat and then if let's say it says wait no longer than an hour, if you wait an hour and a half, then the second coat will not soak in. Uh, and here's another thing I'll help you with. A lot of people think more sealer's better. That's not the case. Do not put it on heavy thinking you're doing yourself a favor. You're doing a nightmare. And hopefully you're going to use the stain that I tested and that I used on my dock that's now into its 3rd year. Hopefully you're going to get the right product. So I sell that report in my shopping cart. So if you go to shop.askthebuilder.com, you'll find, just type into the search engine a deck sealer, and bingo, then you'll know exactly. Where do you see the before and after photos? All right. Any other questions about anything about your home? Happy to answer them. Happy to answer them. What else did I want to tell you? I told you about the super thanks. That's really good on the videos. We'll see how it does. Could be a very interesting revenue producer. And like I said, I want to reinvest all that money back into the channel and new equipment, better equipment, then start to maybe shoot more videos. So it's that would be kind of cool, because there's some videos I really want to do, just haven't done them yet. And some of them, though, I'm going to need a videographer. My son-in-law helped me about 10, 11 years ago, even longer. He was a fantastic videographer. Oh my gosh, he was so good. He got it. He understood everything about it. He helped my daughter make a bunch of videos. Really, really good videographer. Wow. I miss working with him. And what else did I want to tell you? There was something else. All kinds of stuff in the news that's happening. Very interesting stuff in the news. If you're not paying attention, you should be. So look and see what's happening. It's some things were really upside down. I'll tell you that. It's crazy. And if you have any questions, I'm only stumbling around because I'm looking out the window at these two squirrels. I don't know if they're brother and sister. I don't know if they're best buddies, but they play with each other. I mean, they're crazy. They have. You just wouldn't think that animals would play, but they do. They're just like little kids, goofing around. Oh, okay. Thanks very much, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Let's see. What else did I want to tell you? If there's some other kind of news. I'm getting ready. Oh, here's something that I just got from. I don't think I've talked about them before, but I'm going to do a live stream about it. It might be Saturday. This is a really interesting story. It's true. Probably, I'm trying to think how long ago it was. It might have been. It's between 25 and 20 years ago. That I know for a fact. I used to go to all the shows. I'll never forget my first builder show. I was like a fish out of water. I was so intimidated. And then I started going to the hardware show, which for years was in Chicago. And it was, and this was, I would say, in the golden days of the hardware show, because Home Depot and Lowe's had not yet really put everybody out of business. And the hardware show was just unbelievable. Huge show, huge show. I quickly discovered that all the new products, all the really good, cool new stuff was down in the basement because that's where the small booths were. It was real cramped. I'm sure the booth space was much more affordable. The new little startup companies, they don't have a lot of money. And I would just kind of cruise the aisles walking down. And I walked down this one aisle and I actually kind of walked past the booth because I was walking pretty fast and it registered in my head like, wait a minute, what did I just see? And I turned around, backed up. There was just the inventor was there. No one else was there. These poor people down in this part of the show, they get like, I mean, they get traffic, but it's not like upstairs. And here, lo and behold, is this metal pegboard. And it had all the regular holes in it, like the masonite pegboard, but it had something else. It had these slots that are like 1 inch thick by maybe 2 millimeters wide, not very wide. And I started talking with the guy, the inventor, and he showed it to me, and he had devised a system that when if you've ever used old traditional masonite, you'll know that the hooks and stuff, they pull out. I mean, they've got those little clips on, and they've tried all types of things, and then they wear out. Then the holes get bigger, and then you pull the tool off the wall, so the hook comes with it. Well, with this system, doesn't happen. The hook's staying on the wall, and you can move them around. But the cool thing was, this guy was smart. He designed it so that if you want to use your old round hooks, from your masonite, you could do it. You could switch over. And so I featured this product. I wrote a column about it, and it really helped give these people some traction. And so I they've developed some new products. I mean, they were constantly developing new products. And at the time, there was only like one color. Now there's all kinds of colors. It's really amazing what they've done with the product line. So if you go to Wall, I'll put it in right here. And then, William, I'll get to your question here in just a second. Let's see here. Let's see. There we go. So go there. Go take a look at their stuff. I'm telling you what, it's flipping amazing stuff. It is such amazing stuff. All right, here we go. So I'll get caught up. Lorraine says, it is not about the picture, but the sound. We had a Lennox furnace and AC unit last July. The AC makes this high-pitched sound from all the vents and it making me crazy. Well, the blower squirrel cage fan might be set on too high a speed. That would be the first. That's because that's what happens when you whistle. So think about whistling. What's happening is you're restricting the place where the air comes through, and the air's coming through really fast. That's what causes whistling. That vibration. And so Lorraine, I would look to see if in the owner's manual, if you have it, and if it's not written in Greek, see about getting that fan speed down a little bit. Hopefully that's adjustable. You may have to call the guy. But the trouble is, I just don't trust people anymore. I've become so cynical that I hate to say this. It's like if you call because I watched a video here. I'll give you an example why. I changed the oil on my truck yesterday. And the reason why is with the cost of gasoline, first of all, it's for me to go to the place I used to take it to, it's 50 miles round trip. All right, 50 miles. And I invest minimum 2 hours doing it, like 2.5 hours, because I do it while you wait. All right. So I just thought, what the hell's bells? I mean, years ago, I used to change my oil all the time. It's a little messy. I didn't have to make a special trip to get the oil. I was already in town. It only cost me $20 for the oil and a filter. Anyway, I changed the oil. Well, a few years back, I was just underneath my truck one day inspecting it, and I noticed that all of the ball joints, they're all factory sealed. But I look on my four-wheel drive where the half shafts come into the wheels, there's a flipping grease nipple. Like, what? And so I had no idea whether or not the dealership was greasing these things, and I have my own grease gun, so I got out the grease gun. I know how to do it. I greased them, and luckily grease came out, so that's a good thing. If those joints go dry and you squeeze the grease gun, nothing comes out, it's over. It's horrible. And I can only imagine what it costs to fix a half shaft. I go online to YouTube. I know all my stories take forever, don't they? I know. They're horrible. I'm sorry. I talk too much. The, so I go on YouTube. So I know this sounds crazy. It had been a while, and I'm underneath my truck trying to find these flipping grease nipples. Like, where the hell are these nipples at? They've disappeared. Well, what happens is when you have the truck in four-wheel drive, the nipples will rotate with the shafts. But once you take it out of four-wheel drive, the shafts stop. So the shaft can be up or it can be up. It kind of be out of position. So anyway, I went onto YouTube yesterday. First video I go to, nice guy, nice young guy, talks about here's where they are, blah, 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 blah. And I go, oh, right, right, right. So I had to put it into four-wheel drive and move it on the driveway a little bit until they aligned, till I could see them. But in the comments in the video, and even the guy who made the video, here's the payoff. All these people were commenting how, oh no, I took it to the Ford dealer and they said there's no nipples on the thing. That I don't know what I'm talking about. Everything's factory sealed. So that's what the service manager was telling these customers. I mean, were they doing it on purpose because they want your half shafts to go bad? Who knows? Who knows? The point I'm trying to make is, even Lorraine, for you might go here onto YouTube and type in high-pitched vent noise, just something, the search phrase, to see if other people have made videos about the exact same problem you have, what they did to solve it. And I mean, I already know it's too much air going through it's too much air going too fast through the vents. That's what the problem is. That's why compressed air. And in other words, think about that. If you ever hit like a little compressed air thing, and here's what it sounds like when you hit it. Okay, what's causing that? What's causing that noise? But listen to this. So I'm just blowing on the microphone like I used to blow on Kathy's neck when we were dating. All right. So when you put too much air through an opening, it starts to make noise. All right. Long story. Who would ever think that the registers, AC registers, would have anything to do with four-wheel drive half shafts? No, only on Ask the Builder. I am so unhappy with the Lennox units. Well, unfortunately, you didn't know me back then. And so if you would have known me, I probably would have told you not to get Lennox. So from now on, Lorraine, don't buy anything else until you talk to me. All right? Let's make that deal. All right, William, a friend is wanting to help him replace some soffit and fascia boards on an older house. Some of the soffit and fascia is completely rotten missing. How hard is that to do? Well, I think the hardest part of the whole job is getting up to work on it. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know if you're going to use pipe scaffolding or what you're going to do. It's not that hard. I would say the skill level of the carpenter doing that work would be, I don't know, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 3, 3.5. There's a lot of things you need to know. I mean, I do phone coaching. Probably your friend, the best money he could invest in the job, the best money, especially with as costly as materials are, would be for him to arrange a 15-minute phone call with me, send me some photos of the job, of what's going on, and then I can share with you and him the easiest way to do it so that you save a lot of time. But some people go, no, that's stupid. I'm not going to pay that guy. I'll go find out how to do it online for free. Well, you may find out how to do it wrong. All right, let's see here. The furnace repairman said he could set the fan lower, but when then if Here's the deal. He well, I know I don't know what he said, doesn't matter. It's not going to affect how the air is distributed through the house. The air is gonna come down that trunk line the same way, just a little slower. The It's just gonna get into the rooms the same way. You absolutely want to adjust that motor down a little bit and see what happens. And then all that's gonna happen, Lorraine, is that in really hot weather, your air conditioning may run a little longer to satisfy the thermostat, but that's a good thing because in the summertime, you want your air conditioner to run at least 20 minutes out of an hour so it dehumidifies the air. Otherwise, if it short cycles, you get this really cold, clammy air in the house. It's horrible. Uh, Exactly right, Glory. Cannot let the flippin' tie rods dry out. I mean, like I said, on my truck, all of the tie rods, all these other things are all factory sealed. But there's two flipping nipples on the half shafts, where the half shafts connect to the actual wheels, out at the ends, where the tires are. But like I said, I had forgotten that those half shafts, once I turned the four-wheel drive off 2 months ago for the last time it snowed, the nipples might have been oriented up where I couldn't see them. So I had to put it in four-wheel drive to get that to rotate down, to like 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever, 7 o'clock, so I could see the damn things. Okay. I charge $50 for 15 minutes, William. It's the best deal around. I mean, I've saved people literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. So and you can buy it in 15-minute increments of time. So maybe, for example, I talked about this on past live streams. Last spring, Zoe, a young woman from New Mexico, she did, I had to draw her plumbing isometric drawing, but I also did, I think, three phone consults on 3 different days, or it might have been 2 days. But I helped her put in, think about this. I'm in New Hampshire. She's in New Mexico. She had never done plumbing before, never. And I'm talking about putting in the pipes underneath the slab, all the building drain stuff. I walked her right through it on the phone, and I drew some quick pictures, texted them to her. She got it. Smart, smart, smart young woman. And she passed the inspection with flying colors. In fact, the inspector said in his 30 years of doing inspecting, it was the best DIY job he had ever seen. He could not believe Zoe did it. So, all right, the old unit, which was over 15 years old, did not make noise. Right. Everyone owning, oh, that's crazy. I just can't, anyway. Anyway, yes, you have to ask me next time. And I just believe, I forget the city you live in. You don't type it out. We don't need, but I just can't believe somebody around you did not have carrier. I just can't believe that. Oh, well, it is what it is. But the good news is the whistling is going to go away. You're going to turn that fan speed down a little bit. It's going to go away. Air's still going to get into all the rooms. You're going to be comfortable this summer. Everything's going to be fine. If you have any questions about your home, please type it in the chat. Happy to help you. That's why I'm here. We already talked about the Keen shoes and talked about a bunch of things. Who would ever think that we'd be talking about half shafts on a four-wheel drive? It's getting to the point here where I do all my undercoating. I save my motor oil and I mix it with diesel fuel. A lot of people up here in the Northeast do that and spray the underside of my truck twice a year. It's now time to spray it for summertime, and then I spray it in October, before winter. And does a really great job, actually. A lot of people do that. If you have any questions about your home, roof, tile, asphalt, ceiling asphalt, deck construction, concrete installation, you name it, I will answer your questions. Oh yeah, I'll bet it's put you behind schedule. Jeez, man. I hope you told him what I said. No more flipping cage fighting. He's not. It just doesn't pay. I mean, Just, I say that every time, like, every time. This is really an interesting. Now that what I'm gonna tell you shouldn't surprise you at all. If Kathy was here, she would just be shaking her head. So I like talking to people. So you I like doing the live streams because I know I'm talking to you. I know you can't talk back to me, but you can chat with me. I mean, I actually have a game. I haven't done it in a while because I'm out here in rural New Hampshire, but if I go to a big city and I'm on an elevator, I love talking to people on elevators. Oh, strangers. It's such a neat experiment. Oh my gosh, talking to people on elevators. And Kathy, if she's with me, as soon as the person gets off, she looks at me and glares at me like, what is wrong with you?" She says, "What is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Why would you talk to that stranger?" All right. So I'm the head, yeah, my Kathy and I are the head ushers at our church on Sunday. And so when somebody comes, I mean, I know just about everybody. I don't know everybody's name. I'm trying to get everybody's name. Some people would never want to give it to you. You can just tell their body language. But if somebody comes in and they've got a cast on or they've hurt themselves, they're limping, I always say the same line. I go, and if their husband or wife's right with an air shot, I go, "You got to stop cage fighting on the weekends. Stop it." And then I give that pregnant pause, and then I go, "The other person's still in the hospital, aren't they?" I guess she had to be there. It's funny at the time, but some people don't laugh. Some people don't get it. They don't. There's a big wide range of sense of humors out there. Let me tell you. Elaine wants to know, what do you think of a product such as perm aligner to reline 50-year-old cast iron sewer pipe in a slab? Well, I've never used it, and I um I always wonder, here's how I always look at those things, Elaine. I always wonder about the thickness. In other words, how thick could this coating be? I mean, I'm serious. Uh, and then how do we know it's getting coated where it needs to be coated? I know they'll say, "Well, we can put a camera down later, blah blah blah." Um, I I you know, so I'm just very skeptical of them. I just I just don't see. I mean, it's got to be thin enough that you can it's got to be thin enough that it can come through some type of spray nozzle. It has to, so that means it's being put on really thin. Like how many mils? Like 2 mils, 3 mils, 4 mils? I don't know. 5 mils? And then it's really wet inside there. The humidity level inside that cast iron building drain is 100%. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a master plumber. I've never had it done. All right, so I don't know. Just so you know, that's that question. If you read a lot of my work, I've been writing now for 20. It's almost hard to believe. 29 years. There's got to be 50 columns on my website where I tell you um, I would never build a house on a slab. Now that said, in Cincinnati, where I grew up, all of our building drains were down in the basement underneath concrete. Um, if I the To me, the most ideal situation is what we just did in my daughter's new home in Bar Harbor. So she built on a crawl space, beautiful, dry, wonderful, got a concrete floor in it. The concrete floor slopes, so if there is a leak, the water goes down to a drain. The distance from the underside of the floor joist to the concrete is like 4 feet, so you can't walk in it, but you're also not crawling on your belly. Well lit, dry, warm. Guess what? You can see all of the pipes. There are no pipes buried under the concrete. So if there's something goes wrong with the plumbing, it's right there. It's all visible. So I'm a big fan of that. I mean, all these slab homes, you couldn't give me one. You could not get, I would never live or never build in a slab home. Would not happening. Um, all right, Lorraine, his boot is a beacon for meeting new people everywhere. Exactly. It is. And that should be his line. He should go, I already know what happens. Here's what it is. Everybody says, well, what happened? How did you break your ankle? Are you kidding me? If I was given that opening, I would go, you don't know who I am? I I do cage fighting every weekend down at the Octagon downtown. The other guy is in the frickin' hospital still. He's in the ICU unit. You could have so much fun with that. Oh my gosh. Look who's here, Jennifer. Um, what are your thoughts on infrared water filtration? You're not gonna believe this. Um, I've been a master plumber since 1981, and I've never heard of it. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, I'm just like, "What?" So infrared is heat, all right? So that obviously it's heat and, filtration. I can't even comprehend how hot water how introducing heat to the water is gonna filter it. I just don't see how it's gonna happen. I don't understand it. Maybe it was UV. Probably was ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is pretty, ultraviolet is, is really good. I mean, I've written about it a lot. Just recently, 5%. I don't know about artificial UV that's created, but 5% of the UV rays that come from the sun have active photons, and so active photons are so powerful they will break apart. Bad things. I mean, they can break atomic bonds like copper. I mean, a photon hitting a solid piece of copper on a roof will actually explode the copper off, the copper. I mean, it's like a little miniature bomb hitting the copper. And then that loose copper washes down the roof. That's what keeps the roof clean. So UV, I'd have to I'd have to I'd have to get a bunch of data and test samples. I would, and then Jennifer, I talked about this just a few minutes ago. I've become so flipping cynical of everything. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. I mean, it's really easy to get depressed. Um, I would have to. I would have to be. I would want to be talking. I don't even know if you have any. If you, I know you live near. I know where you live, and I think there. I know there's a big university near you. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? You have a big, I don't wanna say where it is. It's nobody's business, but, they've got a great basketball team. Yes, okay. Alright. I would go I'll bet you that yes, good. Alright. I'll bet you that they have, all of them or several have really great biology programs, alright? So I would wanna go talk to, and you've got an in because of your line of work, alright? You've got a foot in the door. Um, and I would want to talk to a few university professors who deal with bacteria, viruses, things like this, where that are and they'll be able to tell you. See, that's the cool thing. They've got their finger on the pulse, and they'll be able to say, "Oh yeah, it works," or "Oh no, it doesn't," or Here's where you have to go to get some really good white papers on the topic." So in other words, you don't want to go always to the companies that sell stuff because they've got a dog in the fight. They just want to sell you their system, and they may only be telling you half truths. And as we all know, a half truth is a whole lie. So start at the university, see what they say, and come back with a full report. Let us know what the professors say. Um, it is what it is, though, Elaine. I know. I know. You got a slab. I don't know. I just don't. I would want to, Elaine. I'm telling you right now what I would do. I would research that to death. I would be typing in whatever that name of that product was, Permaliner, I think you said. I would be typing into Google like permaliner nightmare stories, permaliner headaches, permaliner disaster. I would do the same thing on YouTube. I don't want to hear anything positive. In other words, I'm just going the other direction. I want to hear all of the failures of the product. So I would do all kinds of research about nightmares about the product and see what comes up. See if you can find a bunch of stories. Don't do what my dad did in ER. He went telling everyone he gave mom a black eye for talking back. Oh, that no, that would be a bad. Don't do that. I have a I got a story that's to show you how well, I actually can see why this would be the case. um when my son was in high school, which would have been um I don't know, 16 years ago, for an English class, he had to write an assignment. I think the assignment was something like the scariest thing that ever happened to you. All right. So when he was maybe 3 or 4 years old, um, that's when the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies with Harrison Ford were coming out. And I think the second movie or the third one in the series was the I forget the name of the one, but it was the one where it was like kind of based in India, and there were these stones that would glow, and there was this really evil like witch doctor who he reached into the guy. He like had mystic witch power, and he could actually rip into a live person's chest and pull their heart out. Right, and he said Kalima, 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 shut the day. Right. So I already knew the movie and was happening, and actually, and Kathy was out in the kitchen, and um it's really not funny. Although at the time it was, but Kathy was so angry. So it's coming up to that part in the movie, and Tristan is watching. His eyes are like really big, like what is going on? And actually, I told Kathy later, like, how come you let him watch this movie, man? It's pretty scary for a little kid. So we get to that part in the movie, and I'm kind of behind him. And then when it gets right to that part, and he's I reach around and put my hand on my son's chest, and I thought he was going to die. I mean, Kathy got so angry at me. He was so frightened. He actually thought I was going to pull his heart out of his. So he wrote about this. Kathy gets a phone call from the school. They were going to send the police out. They thought I was abusing him. I mean, she had to talk him out of it. It was anyway, but to your story, like, I mean, in hindsight, I wish I wouldn't have done it, number one. And number two, Tristan should not have been writing about it. All right. That's nice to know information, not need to know. All right. All right, here we go. Does PVC hold up in plumbing? Yeah, PVC is yeah, it wasn't funny at the time. I was in the flipping doghouse, man. Oh my God. Oh, because she's not here. All right. She doesn't watch these things. I don't know if you're a parent and you have multiple kids. You're not supposed to have favorites. All right. Well, anybody who says they don't, they're liars. Liars. Well, guess who's Kathy's favorite? All right. Anyway, uh, mocha, no mocha ice cream for a month. So anyway, PVC, Jennifer, PVC is a great piping material. It used to only come one weight, like heavyweight. Probably 20 years ago or so, they introduced cellular, like a foam core, lighter weight. You can't use it for pressure purposes. If I was doing something where it might be, let's see, in plumbing, I would use the heavier weight. I would use the original PVC piping. All right. So, and make sure it's schedule 40. All right. That comes in different thicknesses, wall thicknesses, and it actually comes heavier. You can get it schedule 60. So, depends on what you're trying to do. But even just under normal use, um, schedule 40, regular PVC in a regular house, I don't know, it'll last 50, 100 years maybe. I mean, I can't see it wearing out. I just can't even imagine it. Can't even imagine it. It's good stuff. Biggest problem with it in homes is it's noisy. Um, if you have it as a stack in a wall and someone upstairs flushes a toilet, you can hear the water crashing in the pipe. That's why we use cast iron in my daughter's home. So anyway, good stuff. I just don't like it because of the noise issue. But you don't have to put cast iron everywhere. I just put, if I was plumbing a house for somebody right now, a customer, and it was a 2-story home, I would try to convince them, look, we got to use cast iron for the vertical stack, and we need to run that a branch arm over to the toilet. All right. And maybe even to the shower. But all the other piping can be plastic, and they make adapters, so it's not a problem. It's going to be fine. But you don't need to put cast iron in for all the vent pipes and all that. That's just a waste. And then your system is going to be quiet as can be. If you have any questions about your home, just type them in the chat. I'm here. That's why I do the live streams. I do it to save you time and money. I'll answer any question that I can. I'll share this. Jennifer's here, and she sent me a very nice email. Jennifer, what I'm really proud of Jennifer, I've never met her before. I talked a week or two ago about the influence book. So by God, Jennifer got the book and started reading it. And then she started putting into play some of the things that she read and got incredible results. So be like Jennifer. If you're running a business and you've got a newsletter, you should be reading the influence book, is all I can tell you. You should be reading the influence book. It's really, really powerful stuff. And it's also going to help you with what's going on. Like, for example, if I had not read the influence book, I read it like 15 years ago. But if I had not read it, with what's happened here in the US over the past 2.5 years, I might have been one like, okay, whatever you say. But because I understood all the psychology that was going on, it was like, are you kidding me? I was like, it was the biggest psyops probably ever done in the history of the world. And Vanessa probably knows all about psyops. There's people on this stream that are, if you've had any kind of significant military training, you know all about psyops, man. Yes, the tomatoes are alive. I saved them from the brink of death. I've got them outside now, though. I've got them outside in bigger pots, out in the sun. I had to bring them in last night because I look on my phone and all of a sudden there's this frost advisory. So, but it never got down that low here. So I think they're okay from here on out. I don't think we're going to have a problem. Although maybe 6-7 years ago on Memorial Day, I've got a photograph of it out on my driveway. On Memorial Day, there was sleet on the hood of my truck. May 31st, flipping sleeting in central New Hampshire. Are you kidding me? So the tomatoes are alive. So I think they're growing. I almost killed them. I almost did. I overfed them. But they're putting out new leaves. I still think they got a long way to go. So I bought 3 other ones. I bought 3 other different plants. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to transplant those into big pots. But those look really, really healthy. And they're 3 different varieties. So I'm trying out some different things. But it's all container. I've got them all in clean 5-gallon buckets. So we'll see what happens. I'll take some photos and share them. All right. Jennifer wants to know, how are manufactured home walls made? I heard they are better. Yes, they're they're made in a factory. There's all kinds of great videos online, Jennifer, you can see how it's done. They've got these big jigs. They're made in a factory. I actually have some of the videos on my website. Like if you go to my website and you type in uh, I don't know, prefab walls. I think that's what it is. Prefab. Let me actually do it for you. Let me see if I can bring it up. Um, pre or pan all panels. I think this is the column. Yeah, yeah. I think in this column, I've got the column. I'm almost sure I put another two videos I saw online that really show you how they're made in a factory. Hold on a second. I'm going to slide down. Um, there's at least in this video here, there is some B-roll, some cutaway shots of how it's done. But there are other videos on YouTube. If you go look at some of these other videos like this, that you can actually see how they do it. Bottom line, they're better than probably 80% of the walls built in the field, stick built, because the precision is remarkable. I would say that the walls are the tolerance for error is within a 16th of an inch, which is fantastic for rough construction. Um, they're built stronger, they're built better, and they have to survive the move. So here's the thing. In other words, you can go and buy just the wall panels where they just build the walls and they stack them on top of one another, and then they're put on a flatbed truck, and the wall panels are brought to the job site, and then the carpenters tilt them up and slide them into position. But if you buy a modular home, so a modular home is where they actually build the house just like Lego blocks. They build these cubes or rectangles in a factory, and they do everything. They wire them, plumbing, put the drywall, they paint them, they do everything. They can even put the cabinets in and put dishes in the cabinets, and the dishes will survive the move. All right. I know it sounds crazy. It's true. Seen it done. I've seen it done. And then they just bring those and they crane them into place and connect them all together. And those are built better than just about 95% of all the houses you could ever have built, stick built, because they have to survive the move. So it's really, really good stuff. With more insulation, made them with this, thus. Yes. So they're good. So wall panels are good. My daughter's whole house was all panelized. My daughter's entire house was built in a factory, and the pieces came, and the carpenter just assembled all the pieces. Perfectly square. It is stronger. My only complaint was I felt that they overbuilt the openings around all the doors and windows. That they had too much lumber there. It was way overbuilt. For example, like the headers, they above all my daughter's windows, they put triple 2-by material. That's crazy. Stupid. They could have just done 2, and they could have put in 2.5 inches of solid, closed cell foam insulation. But I didn't catch that on the plan, and it wasn't my responsibility. So if you're going to do that, I'm just telling you, if you're doing 2x6 exterior walls, really pay attention to how they're going to frame all the openings, because they don't have to be like they do it. How do I get to the Tim's tips? I don't know. I might have a link right here. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. I do have a link. You've already done enough. If anybody else likes the information I'm giving you and you want to buy me a mocha chip ice cream cone, go ahead and do it. But Jennifer does not have to. All right. So what other questions do you have? Jack had a good one. Are the tomatoes still alive? Yeah, I just watered them about an hour and a half ago. I've got them on the blacktop driveway, so they're getting a lot of sun. The blacktop gets hot, keeps them hot, which is good. Tomatoes like that. But But boy, I almost killed those bad boys. They were doing so well that first 6 weeks, and then I overfed them, and, I got an ant on top of this microphone. What the heck are you doing there? All right, so you probably saw that around the back. Um, all right, if you have any other questions, ask them. Ask away. Happy to answer them. Tomorrow, I've got my golf league. Today, Will's out on the golf course now. On Wednesdays, he's a ranger, and he's kind of there as a helper for the golf league. I talked to him on the phone earlier today. Tomorrow, the person I'm supposed to play is still in Florida, so I basically just play his card, is what it's called. Um, in other words, his card gets pre-filled out with his score. So in other words, it's par plus his handicap, and as long as I beat him in 5 holes, then I win the match. So I'm going to do a completely different thing tomorrow. I talked to Will about it. The actual term is called course management. And I have this horrible habit. Like after I drive and I'm out on the fairway, I keep thinking like on a par 4 hole, like, well, heck, if the pros can make the flipping green, so can I. No, so I get the 3-wood out and all kinds of problems. So tomorrow it's like, no. We're just going to get the 5-iron out or the 6-iron. And we're just going to take 2 shots to get to the flipping green. Okay, because think about this. Like a par 4 hole. Here, I'll actually show you. So here's the scorecard, for where I'm playing tomorrow. So let's say that we're playing the front 9 tomorrow. So here is, and I play the white tees. So here is hole number, I don't know, hole number 4. It's 350 yards, all right? 350 from the whites. So if you just hit it 180 yards with your driver, which is pretty easy to do, if you don't have to smash it, just hit it 180 yards. You've only got 170 to go, all right? 170. So get out your 8-iron. That for me, that goes 120 yards. Or just get out an iron, like a 6-iron, and then boom, boom, and you're on the green in 3. And if you have a really great third shot, you might 1-putt. If stranger things have happened. So that's what I'm trying tomorrow. We'll see how I do. Because whenever I use my 3-wood, sometimes I'll just duff the ball and it's like a wasted shot. So, and then if I hit it too hard, because that's the trouble. In other words, I'm putting everything behind it. They just go astray. It's crazy. All right. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Any other questions about your home? Anything that you've got about your home? I'm happy to. We got a lot of good questions today. Jennifer asked so many questions. Oh, and I didn't say about that photo you sent. If those are the places where the dogs stay, you could be renting those things out for Airbnbs, man. Are you kidding me? We have tons of places around New Hampshire here where people own things just like that close to one another, these little summer cottages, and they rent them out by the week. Don't forget to do those pre-golf game stretches. I never do them, but I probably should do them. But I don't have any back issues or whatever. With me working on this garage, I'll be pretty limber by tomorrow afternoon, moving stuff around. Here's something that's kind of funny. I can show it to you. So my my oldest daughter, my oldest daughter, she was a pretty good artist, and I'm going through boxes as I'm decluttering the garage, finding stuff, and I found this thing she did as a kid, and and I don't know, she might have been 8 or 9 years old, and so I saved it and I found it in this box. I've not seen this for like 20 years. So it says, I am crabby. Don't bother me. And look at the lobster that she drew, you know, and out of its mouth, you probably can't see it, but it's saying ba, B-A-A-A. So I took this photo and I texted it to her. And I didn't even say anything in the photo. I just texted to her. So I've not heard back from her yet. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna send it to her, give it to her. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, those those things look amazing. Those buildings. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff of the kids. Bunch of stuff. Um, I used to play her in ping pong, and Kathy would get so angry at me, because I would. I mean, I wouldn't. Kathy would say that I always wanted to win, and that's not always true. But my oldest daughter was getting pretty good, so I would put a little spin on the balls, and one day she got really aggravated at me. She got so angry, because and I guess she lost the game and she stormed away, and I felt bad. But then she took a piece of this redwood and she she put on it, "You cheat," and with this really kind of angry face, like sticking its tongue out at me. She was angry at me. And I have that somewhere. I saved that. So I think it's right behind this door here. If I find that one day, I'll show it on the live stream. It's hilarious. So she was very animated that way, drawing stuff. So we'll see what she says about this drawing. But next time I go up to Bar Harbor, I'll take it to her. Exactly. Yeah, and I would, yeah, if I had it all to do again, I would not have played like I did. But I was at the time, what I was trying to do is I just was trying to play a little harder to make her a better player. But that's a really fine line. It's a really fine line. And as I always told my kids, when they would get upset at me, is I would say, "Look, you did not come with the flipping owner's manual. All right? Sorry. All right?" And they I don't know that they got it then, but I think they get it now. I think especially she does with our grandchild. Oh, the bread. I did not do the bread today. I got so deeply involved in cleaning this garage, I didn't do it. So I gotta work on that. I did not do the bread. I'll do the bread next week. All right. Any other questions about your house? If not, I think I'll get out of here. Here we go, Jennifer. How can you tell a tree would come down on your house in a storm? Oh, you can't. Uh, you can't. I mean, how can I say this? I mean, I'm not a tree expert, but I've been around enough to see trees fall that I never thought they would fall. You don't know what really comes into play is, and this is, I'm not an expert. I'm not an arborist. Is how strong is the root system? Because I marvel. I mean, the trees here around my house, many of them are 100, feet tall. They're huge. And we get these big nor'easters and I see these trees, like this. And I just think how much first of all, there's some elasticity in the tree, which is good. They're bending a little bit like that. I'm exaggerating it. So that the base of the trunk is not moving that much. But the roots is the only thing that's holding them in. All right. So if the roots, if the tree has got some health issues and the roots are not in good shape, down it comes. All right. So I see trees, down all the time. I mean, Jennifer, the only thing I think I would do is there's a really good chance your tax dollars pay for a county extension agent that there are these people that in the agriculture department you might have an arborist, you might have a county arborist, and that he'll come out for free and talk to you and evaluate and tell you what's going on. So that's the first thing I would do. See if this county has got or the state has got some expert that will come out and talk to you about the trees. That's what I would do. Yeah, Elaine's got it. Exactly. Elaine said what I said. So there we go. That's so Elaine's smarter than I am. Elaine, you should be doing the flipping live stream. Uh, uh, County forester. Yeah, it could be different in each state. But Elaine's on the thing. In other words, just go. Your county should have, or this like Elaine said, this there could be a state forestry association or department. Blah blah blah. Like here in New Hampshire, we have one I know, and just like I told you 2 weeks ago or a week ago, we had the moose on the front porch. So uh, I call up the Fish and Game, and they were out in 90 minutes. All right. So I'm not saying that the tree people are going to be out that fast to your house, but it's their job. That's what they do. So have them come out. I know. I know. That's okay. And when I finally get to meet you, don't worry about that, by the way. All right. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. The moose. I haven't seen it. I hope it made it. And right now, it's got plenty to eat. The leaves are out. Spring comes on fast here in New Hampshire. Once it decides it's time, things grow like crazy. I mean, it's crazy. So that moose has got plenty of food right now. So I hope it's still alive. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. That's okay. That's okay. I don't, it's not going to bother me, We'll just calm down. We'll just wait, I'll just hug you for longer. See, the longer I hug you, then you'll probably calm down. All right. That's what I'll do. I'll just hug you for a while. All right. Okay. I'm going to get out of here. Yep. Not much left of our day. You've got a lot. You've got a lot of day left out there on the West Coast. Make some bread this weekend. Yes. I'm going to talk to Kathy about it tonight. Get that machine out. I'm sure she'll say fine. And this weekend. I don't have much going on this weekend. I've got this, like I said, the big thing is over the next 2 days to try to get this garage, the lower garage done, completely decluttered. Then I can start bringing stuff on the other side of this door right here. This door. Then start moving stuff downstairs. I can't take anything out of here. There's no place to go with it. I don't know who Cindy is. All right. So that's why I thought the other day when I said Happy Mother's Day, that's what threw me off. I don't know who Cindy is. So, and you don't need to say it right here. All right. Don't need to do that. That's nice to know information, not need to know. Okay. So yes, bread, whole wheat bread. That's what I want to do. Okay, I'm out of here. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for all the great questions. They were wonderful. Really, a lot of good questions. And I wish I had more information about that permaliner. But Elaine, I want you to do that research. Like I said, type in permaliner nightmares, permaliner defects, permaliner headaches. All those other nouns that permaliner problems, whatever. And just try to dig deep to find out the nightmare stories from people. And that's what I would do. And then you could also do this as a last ditch effort. Elaine, you could there is a I think it's based in California. You could contact the cast iron. There's like a cast iron piping association. I would reach out to them. You might even go to Charlotte Pipe. So that Charlotte, they're right in your backyard. They probably make more cast iron pipe than anybody in the nation. See if Charlotte Pipe has got some information about how to restore what they consider to be the best system. All right, they're the experts at it. So that's how I would do it. The last person I would be talking to would be the permaliner salesman. I can tell you that right now. All right. Yes, Charlotte Pipe. All right, so they're the best. And to Jennifer, Charlotte Pipe, they make the best PVC. They make spun cast iron now. It's fantastic stuff. There's all kinds of great videos online. You can watch videos on YouTube about how they make cast iron pipe now. The spin casting, it's amazing. the pipe thickness. I mean, I got a piece of it right here. I don't want to take it all apart, but I have a piece of cast iron that I use as I cut it at my daughter's house. I use it for a pen holder. I should probably sell them, but it would cost so damn much to ship it to you. My God, the probably costs $10 postage to get it to you. Crazy. You know what it cost? Uh, I was going to sell the golf balls. All right, I still try to do it. I think people will buy 5 of them. Big deal. $4. It only weighs the box with the golf ball in it. Only weighs 4 ounces. Only weighs 4 ounces. $4. Okay, gotta go. Thanks for being here. I'll be here Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. We'll see what happens. Um, I don't know how long I'll be on. Um, I'm probably going to suspend the Saturday live streams because we're not getting a lot of people, and it makes sense why. I get it, but it was just an experiment. So this might be the last Saturday morning live stream. Yeah, $4, $4. Send a 4 ounce box. But that was the postage from New Hampshire to you. We checked the postage for West Coast because that's worst case scenario. Because the post office finally got smart on things over 13 ounces, I think, or whatever it is. They have an adjustable rate. Not so much so for a regular stamp for a regular letter, but other things. It depends on how far it's going, which is the way it should be. So anyway. Try a small padded envelope for the balls. I don't know that that'll make a difference. I don't think it will. Because all of a sudden, as soon as it's greater than a quarter of an inch in thickness, it goes crazy, the rates. So I don't think that'll work. I've got these perfect little boxes for it. But anyway, I only think 5 people are going to buy them anyway. It's just, what, who wants a flippin' logo golf ball after all? Come on. All right, gotta go. Thanks for being here. I'll be here Saturday morning, but I don't know how long I'll be on. Thanks for being here today. Great, great questions. I really appreciate it. I really do. And you made me laugh today. That's good. All right, bye. I'm Tim Carter. You've been watching Ask the Builder.